It's $40, $35 off Amazon. It has all the illustrations, so it's really, really good. I like it. It's by James Wasserman. He's the creator, conceived, but there were some translators as well. Translated by again, he's using the Raymond Faulkner translation, but he's used people to help him translate this document. I'm just going to show you here. So because I use it to translate, but you can see the full sheets here. $40. You get all the 37 plates. Let me see if I can get you to the plates. Here, this is the last one. So there you go. You see all the plates, right? You see all the processions starting from the first one plate and moves on and 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 so forth until the very end of the 37th plate. So definitely get this book. So today, just not to waste too much time, today what we're going to do is just translate the very first line from the Book of the Dead of Ani. I'm just going to show it to you first so you can see, and then we'll translate it. We'll even do it side by side. So this is known as the hymn to the sun god Ra. So it's Ani and his wife Tutu, and they're doing an offering table, and these are the hieroglyphs. It's known as cursive hieroglyphs because they're written very quickly, not hieratic. So we're going to translate the very, very, very first sentence all the way up to here. So this is the column right there. We're going to translate all this. I'm going to draw it out for you so you see what I'm talking about. And then maybe if you get interested and you want to do the same thing yourself. And that's what we're going to do. So I already done it over here. All right. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to draw it out so you see and learn as well at the same time. So here we go. Let me just pull this out. Now, all this has already been translated. If you want the book, get it. But if you want, I've already translated 37 plates on a video, so you can follow the words one by one and learn what every word says. It took me about 4 years on and off just to get it done, but definitely check it out if you're interested in a more advanced, in-depth translation process. All right, so there it is. So that's what we're going to translate for you, everybody. I'm just going to tilt it up a little bit. Maybe get some light up here. There we go. All right, so that's the text that we're going to translate right here, and I'm just going to go like this. So I'm just going to ask everybody to be respectful for everybody in the live. Some people come on, they just feel like they need to troll somebody all the time, but let's just be civil. All right, so what we're going to use is not pencils, but we're going to use something I've cut out of wood. This is bamboo right over here. These two here are bamboo, and this is just a simple little pine stick. So I use these. I try to follow the Egyptian style. Good. I'm glad you have the book, Motor Kitty. Okay, so I usually use these types here. I use charcoal with water and a little egg white to basically keep the bonding together. And I'll usually use this to write the style. I could use a fountain pen, but I'd rather not. Now, I'm not going to use the ink. I'm just going to use a little bit of this nice ink I have so I can write properly so we can get through the video. So what I'm going to use today is this one right here. I've practiced with it today. I've cut it in a way that it bends and it's got a hole in it so the ink can flow out smoothly. So that's it. So let's go ahead and start by reading it to you first. And then I'll go ahead and show you the translation. All right, so here's the translation, everybody. Rock and troll. No trolling. All right, so here we go. Yeah, if you troll or anything, you say anything rude, I'm just going to block you. So I'm not. This is an academic page. This is not some entertaining page. So like you'll be entertained, but don't ruin it for people who are trying to learn. So the first sentence from the Book of the Dead of Ani is a hymn to the sun god Ra. You see here the sun being held up by the Ka. So the two arms is significant of the Ka, which means the spirit. So it's the spirit of Ra. And here you have the word Ankh, life, which has the two arms. So it's life holding up, or the spirit of life holding up Ra. You have the jet pillar, which is signified by the backbone of Osiris, and basically stability. So you have stability, life, and the spirit holding up Ra. You have the baboons that are associated with the god Thoth, and they usually are well known for screaming or yelling or howling during the rise of the sun. So there's 6 of them here. Here you have Isis and Nephthys, the two sisters of Osiris. They are there basically in praise and worship for Ra rising. They're on top of two symbols for gold, which is Nabu and Nabu right there. And there's the papyrus reed, which they're standing on, which is traditional for ancient Egyptians to sit on, much like how Muslims pray on a rug. The Egyptians pretty much did everything on these mats. These are reed mats. As well over here, you have the mountain, the Akhet. So you can see the mountain, the first side of the mountain. So it's rising in the east, right? Egyptians were everything but symbology, right? So they're rising in the east. All right, welcome, Zaid, Sadaka. All right, here we go. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to read is, now you can see it's in red. Why is it in red and why is it in black? Well, red denotes a new sentence or a new idea or a new process. So that's how you do it. So the first thing is you have the word worship of Re. When, now that little T is with it, when he rises in the eastern horizon of the sky. Now it says, who is the author? It's by, the word by. The Osiris, all the Egyptians wanted to be associated with Egypt. It's called the Osiris scribe. This is the sesh sound, the scribe. And this is basically now, before he announces himself, Ani, he says, divine offering. So he's giving offering divine to all the gods. And then you have his name, Ani, right over here. So that's it. That's the beginning. And that's the first sentence of the Book of the Dead for Ani. So let's start by drawing this out. Let's move this over like this. And let's go over here. Let's get the ink pot open. And everyone can see. And as I draw it, I'll explain to you the hieroglyphs along the way so you learn as well what's being read. I'm just going to get a napkin because my hands get very inky. And this will be on YouTube. So if you've missed any of this, it'll be on YouTube. So check it out over there once I finish the light. Yes, it will be on YouTube, Carnival Bright. Okay, here we go. So now the thing is, I'm not going to be able to do it perfectly accurate because the camera's kind of in a weird angle. Maybe I could try to turn it, but I want to keep it this way so you both see it. All right, so just a little ink, not too much. You don't want to have a pool of it. Just something like that. You see, I'll show you. Just a little bit on there, not too much. And you're going, depending on what you're going to draw, you're going to write at a specific angle, right? So here we go. So the first thing we're going to write is the star. This is the word dua, right? I'm going to try to stay within a straight line. Sometimes I don't get into the line, but so dua. So dua is very simple. You just draw the straight line. You do the two on top like that and like this. Sorry, that's a little terrible because of my angle. So you have the dua. Now you have to draw the person, which is a standing person of worship. This is the determinative. It's not a word pronunciation. So what you have is a person, and then you have straight like that. You bring this down like this, and you come over like that. His arms are outstretched like this, you see? Like that. Now I drew in a different angle. Now, sometimes this papyrus is also not pronounced. It's an abstract idea. So it's meant for you to use a word that's abstract. Now, sometimes it was vertical, sometimes it was horizontal. But this time it's vertical. So we're just going to do this quickly like that, right? And like this. So there you go. That's your first word, dua. And we're going to write it here so you see. This is the word dua, worship. Next. Now is the name of Re. Now this is how we write the name of Re phonetically, or Ra. So it goes like this. So if you know your alphabet, it starts off with the letter R first, like this. Right? And then you have the arm. In this case, it's drawn this way. There's many styles of drawing the arm. So you have the R and the ayin. This is a half vowel, not a real vowel. And to denote that this is the god Ra, because without the two determinatives, you wouldn't know, it's the sun disk. So, Ra is associated with the sun, and that's his sun disk right there with a dot in the middle. And also they'd have a line to indicate that this is the sun. Yeah, it's worship. That's correct. Then they put the god. Now, you don't have to do this, but they did it in this. Remember, they're trying to fit everything as much as possible into a space so it looks nice. Then they drew the god, which is just a random determinative for a god, right? With the beard, and then basically his sitting position like this, right? Coming down like that with his leg, and then there you go. So there it is. So that's the second word, which is Ra. And this is pronounced, even in Coptic, that's how we get the pronunciation. We get the word Re. We say Re. We don't say Ra. Ra is the English way. Next word is going to be worship of Re. Now, this is the word when or upon rising. So this is the word chefet. So it's going to be a feminine. So this is like that. Chefet. And then you're going to have the serpent, the viper, which is F, so chefe, and then you have the T. Now what they did is they put it with this next word just to fit, so they can create more space. But generally that's how it's supposed to be. But they fit it in with the second word, which is rise. So when, And then you have the word rise, which is weben. So chefet, I'll just write this down like this. You see chefet, right? And the next word you're going to have is rise, which is weben. Weben is, of course, I'm not going to draw this as is. I'm going to use the cursive style. You'll see this this hieroglyph even in this book. So it goes like this. This is the chick. It comes down like this and then line over like that. And then you have a foot or a leg. And this comes down like that and then over like this, right? The weben, sorry if you don't see it. And remember that T is supposed to be in there. Now, the word weben, and I'll show you something about why hieroglyphs are so versatile. Now, you would pronounce this as we, be, and then you would have the N down here. But to make space, they kept the N in between the two of the U and the B. So you see, he put it right there. If you can see it right there, that line is right there. So this makes it actually weneb, but we know it's weben because the Egyptians did this to make it more aesthetic. So it fits and they have more space. And that's why they did that. All right, next thing is weben. Now, the weben means rise. And I'll write all this out in English for you after. So rise. Now, he put the next thing is the sun disk. So this is never mixed together. It's just kept separate. The god was always kept separate. So it's basically the sun god again, which you see over here, but they don't put the line because they don't want you to know that this is the sun god. They want you to know this is the word to rise, and this signifies the sun rising. So it's weben with the determinative that's not pronounced, and therefore it is rise, the word rise. Now, the next thing is you have a viper. The viper is the pronoun for him, the masculine. So when he rises, verbs are always first in the sentences. So when he rises, depending on the tense. Okay, I'm just using regular ink. I bought this ink here. It's nothing special. It's just the ink. Okay, I can make my own with charcoal, but in this case, I'm using standard ink. Now, the next word is now rise. Now, rising where? Now, the word in, where does he rise? Well, he rises in, just touching the ink here. Now, the word in can be an owl. Right? Oh, sorry. This is the letter F. Sorry, I'm just going to put that there like that so you see it. So yeah, that's the F. So the word in, you see it right over here, is a second word for, it's basically a part of the throne on which a chair is put on. So I'll show it to you. It goes like this, comes down like that, and goes over there. If you close it, it becomes mai. It's a different word. So they keep it open to know that this is the word M. Right? M. Now, the most common word for M, or the letter M, is the owl. But sometimes they use this for space, because if you did an owl, it would stretch out too long, it would take too much space, and depending on what you're writing next, it would create problems. So this is why this word was created. M. All right, next word. Where is Ra rising? Well, where does the sun rise, as you see in the picture here that I showed you over here? Well, the sun rises in the east, but it rises in the horizon. So you see the next here? This is a way of rising. So it's two hills and a sun rising. So I'll show you. I'll do it the right way. They just did it a little simpler. So like this, you see the hill, and then you have the sun, right? This is the achet. This is the rising. And the word achet is feminine, so it has the T. And since the horizon, which you saw over here, let me just move this a little closer. Right, you see the achet, you see the mountains right here. The mountain rolls over and comes up here. That's the achet. That's what it's over here, the achet. And basically Ra is rising. Well, let's just make sure we're in the picture. Yeah, Ra is rising in his horizon. And the horizon was considered the house of Ra, because that's where he rises from. All right, let's just make sure the ink is not completely dry. And you see, this is the word pur. We don't say this. This is the word per. It means house. But they've put it together in a combination so you know that this is the house of Ra, which is the achet. So we don't pronounce this. This also becomes a determinative so you know. So it's part of the symbology of the Egyptians. All right, next. After the horizon, which horizon? Well, there's two horizons. There's the east and the west. Well, the sun rises, guess what? In the east. And the horizon is achet. So I'll just write that down for you here. That's how we write it. Achet. It's feminine with a T. When a word ends with a T, like hifet, it's feminine. All right, remember that. Next word we'll have is basically the east. Now you have east and west. Imentu is west. East is iabt. So here it is. So this is the symbol. It just goes like that. Now, it can be drawn many different ways, but people do a little differently. I'll just go like that, and then it comes down like this and goes like that. You see, that's the symbol for, and it could be better. It's just the way they drew it. And it could be the symbol, it's the symbol for the east. And abet has a complement. The foot just simply complements the word. We don't say abet. We just say abet. Now, the only thing is they didn't include the T for some reason. It's just maybe for aesthetics. They just assumed the person would know. And the achet is a direction. So it's a location. And basically, when they denote location, north, east, west, they have mountains. So you know that it's in this mountain, the eastern, western mountains of the horizon, right? So yapt, right? This would be written like this. Yapt. And there it is. Now, it's the eastern horizon. Now you can do the western horizon. The southern, you don't have the south, but because the sun doesn't rise, so the sun only occupies the east and west area. So that's it. Next word is we're going to do is now, where is the sun rising in the west? It is rising in the west, and it's ascending to where? The sky. This is the word pet, but there's a word here. This is of, the preposition. Now, pet, now I'll show you. This is basically a water wave. That's what you see here is a water wave. And that water wave has a T to feminize it, to make it feminine. Why? Because it's of what? It associates itself with the sky. Pet is a feminine word. You have the P and the T, and the determinative for the sky. Determinative for the sky. There it is. So that's pet. You don't pronounce this, just tells you that this is pet. All right, so that's it. So it's of the sky. So pet is PT, and that's net. Sorry about that. That's net, and this is pet. All right? Great. We're almost done. Now that's it. So now this is the worship of Re when he rises in the eastern horizon of the sky. That's how you read it. Now the rest of it is pretty much, who are these words spoken by? Well, it's denounced right here. This is the word by. Usually by who? By me, by you, by my friends. That's what it is. So it's a reed. Now look how nice the reed is drawn here. You'll see this quite often. The reed is a water reed. It comes like this. Instead of just drawing a straight line, they actually just do the little reed feathers like that, you see? So it gives it that nice effect, the little reed feathers that you see over here. I'm just not going to do all of it. I'm just trying to show you an example. The next thing you'll have is the word in. Now, generally the word in, or by, it has a water wave. So it's the word in. So it would have the water wave like this one. But because of space, it wouldn't look nice, but also to make it look good, you can use the other letter N, which is the crown of Lower Egypt, which is known as the red crown. The red crown is the word inni. So the red crown, which the pharaoh would wear if he's basically conquered Lower Egypt, and that's the inni, the lower crown of Egypt. All right, then there'd be the upper crown, but they used it as a letter N here. Great. All right. The next thing, sorry guys, I'll answer your questions at the end when we're done. So continuing, we're going to finish it off. Now, by who? Well, all Egyptians, when they died, they wanted to connect themselves with Osiris. So let's say today you are Mr. Paul Stevens or Mrs. Amanda Jackson. Well, for them, it was Osiris or Isis. So everybody wanted to be associated with the god Osiris. Osiris resurrected. So he was the resurrecting god. He came out and resurrected. Right? You see the eye? That's the eye. This is the word for Osiris. There's two versions to Osiris. This is the first version. And I'll finish it up for you. And there's this one that comes down like that. And that's how it's drawn. You could see. And it closes up. This is a throne. This is an eye. And then another determinative like you saw over here for a god. So it tells you that this is a god, even though people knew the name of Osiris. All right, we're just drawing him seated down with the wig on the back of the head. Right? And then the beard, like that. So we know that that's Osiris. I'm just drawing it a little crudely because my angle is off. So there it is. So this is the word usir. This is the word ir, and this is the word us. It could also be the word sta. So I'll just write it here. This is ta, and this is ir. So, but it also is the word us, right? It's a biliteral. So this is the word for Osiris. So it's, sorry, I'm running out of ink here. This is the word, sorry, see too much ink. Usir, all right? That's usir. All right, now that's Osiris. Now before Ani says the Osiris Ani, they continue by writing, and I'm just going to move this up because I wrote too big. So you have Osiris, and now the next word is, what does Ani do? Well, this is his occupation right here. He's a scribe, okay? A shes, all right? Or sesh, I believe it's sesh. Yes, I forget the name sometimes. Right. This is the symbol for a scribe. What is it? It's 3 pieces of tools here. I'll show you what it is. Well, the first thing we're going to draw, this is stick holder. So this is basically a tube that has a cap on top. And inside it, you have the sticks like this, right? And you put your sticks inside, the different colors so you don't carry them, and you put them inside. The next thing you have is right here, this little circle. This is a pouch. And it carries all the ink. It's a little pouch, right, with a rope. It carries all the little platelets that you crush and mix with water. And over here is the actual scribal palette. It has 2 circles, one for color black and one for color red. So what happens is this tool is carried as one. This is attached to this, and this scribal tool is attached to that. So it's a single tool that's attached together. And this is the word, I believe, I don't want to mix it up. Sesh or shes? I think it's sesh. Well, hold on. Give me a sec. I keep forgetting if it's sesh or sesh. It's the new name of script language. Language spoken by me. Okay, hold on. Guys, I'm just going to, I keep forgetting the reverse of the transliteration. Hold on. I believe it's... Nope, not man. Yeah. So it's sesh, not shes. So it's sesh. This is the scribal tool. All right, we're almost done, everyone. Well, we're still got maybe a few more. So now, Ani, before he writes his name, which is down here, the name of Ani, he wants to give some offering to the gods. That's his first duty. He wants to, before he says his name, he gives offering. I can't see everybody. If you see anybody making fun, let me know and I'll block them. Just say this guy's doing this, but don't troll each other. Like, be respectful. All right. So I'll check it out after. So after this is sesh. Now, once you have this, now you have basically the word divine offering, necher hetep, or hetep necher. So what you have is a symbol for offering or giving, to give. This is also the verb to give, right? And this is hetep. This is the word hetep, right? Hetep. But then you have its complements, which are the T. After more ink. I'll get to that, guys. Let me just finish this and I'll answer your question. So you have the T and the P. Hetep, hetep. So it's hetep. These are the complement sounds. T and P. And then you have the necher, which is a symbol for the gods. This is the word for necher. This is the word for God. So this word is pretty much translated as hechep necheru, or necher. Now, necheru is plural. So this is hechep necher. Hechep necher. That's how it's pronounced. This means to offer a divine offering. So it's divine offering. So these are offering or giving of food which is divine to the gods. So that's how they're defining it. Now, who is this offering being given to? Well, they were going to add the next preposition to. Remember, like we did for, where is it? Right here. For sky, or to the sky, or of the sky. Here it's the word to, and it's masculine. So we're just going to do a water wave. So you see that this here is a water wave. To, and it's singular. There's no T like this one, so it's masculine. So to who? Now we have the same word nichir, but in 3, which makes it plural, and that means gods. So when you have 3 of something, it's plural. Right? Generally, you would draw this one first, right? I'll show you why. Then you would draw a line like that next to it, and then continue on like that, and then this would be connected. So I kind of separated them, and that's not the right way to do it, but that's just my mistake. All right, so now this is the word necheru. You see necher for singular, necheru for plural. Finally, now to who? To the gods. But you don't want to just say the gods. Which gods are we talking about? Well, to the word, let's add now the word neb. Neb means the word all. Neb. And this is to all the gods. But by adding the 3 lines at the bottom, much like the 3 symbols for the gods, the flagpoles here, you would add 3 lines here to make this not neb, but instead it would be nebu. Like necheru, let's say we'll add a dot there. Necheru, nebu. So many gods to all the gods. To all the gods. All right, we're almost done. Actually, we're done now, guys. One more word. Now we have the name of Ani. So the actual person of this book, right? Ani is right there. So this is Ani. So this is now his name here at the bottom. His name is written, we'll do it in English so you see it here. We'll do it in transliteration first. So his name is A, right? And he has 2 Y's like that. So Ani, that's his name. And we say in English, Ani. His name is written basically with complements, with a uniliteral alphabet, just the standard 1-letter alphabets. So basically what you have is a vulture. You see that's the first thing is a vulture. It's the letter A. Right, like that. And you see the vulture's back comes down like this, crosses over like that. You see that? And then it comes over like this and out like that and comes over like this. Mine is okay. It's a little crude because I'm trying to draw at an angle. And then the legs come down like that. And then the things come down like this. So that's the letter A. And then you have the N, which is the water wave. Right? Sorry, that's supposed to be nice and simple like that. Okay. I should do it better, but oh well, it doesn't matter. So A-N, and then now he has pluralized his name. Now this is not Anui, like I showed you with the Nabu, Nu. It's Ani. He has pluralized himself. This is some ritualistic. This is symbolic to mean that he is many, that he will not die, that he is of many. And then we finish off with the 2 reeds, which create the word I, which is a very strong I. So it's 1 reed. Second read with the 2 lines like that, you see. And then you have the little waves like that for the reed, the water reed. So there's his name, An-I. And then they added the determinative for a person. So you know that this is a name of a person. It's not something else. So if they put some other symbol, they might get confused. So the Ani symbol is very simple. It's just a person sitting down like that. And then basically 1 arm, 1 arm down usually, and then 1 arm up like that. I keep losing ink with this thing. I'm not sure why. One arm up, 1 arm down, and there it is. So there it is, everybody. Ani. All right, so we're done now. And here we go. Don't worry, this will be on YouTube, so don't worry so much. So here is the pronunciation for what you have here, which is a full sentence, the first sentence of the Book of the Dead. What you have is, in Egyptian, you have Duare chefet webenef, achet iapt, net pet in usir, sesh chetep neter, en neteru nebu ini. Ani or Ini, but it's Ani. I forgot the N over here. And that's it. That's the translation. And this says pretty much, as you see over here, it says worship, right? Worship of Ra when he rises in the eastern horizon, or the Achet, of the sky by the Osiris, scribe, divine offering to all the gods, Ani. Ani. If you want to check out the other sentences, no problem. Just go to my YouTube. I've done them all. I've translated the whole book, all 37 plates. You can see it over there. Now we're done. We've translated this for you.